We're going live to Facebook. And we're going live to Facebook. I don't even know if it's live yet, but I think that it is. We're gonna wait until it's done and redirects it. Woo, that was good. I'm talented, guys. Thank you. That's all that training on the voice right there. It's crazy. This is what I do now. Thanks, Blake Shelton. Anyways, welcome to the roast of Bella. Just gonna start by saying this is not my idea. I didn't pick her. I didn't pick her. So if you guys hate her, you can blame it on the pedophile. Okay, just blame it on him because it's really his fault. I picked this. I'm really actually excited because it actually forced me to watch the movie Twilight, which I thought was going to be an adventure because they had surround sound on, but turns out doesn't matter how much weed you smoke, it's not good. It isn't. I just don't like it. Plus, I hate. You know what I mean? And those are books originally, right? Am I right? Those are books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Books. Thank you, Allie. We've got some real delicious treats on here tonight. We've got a new face and then another new face, but different. And then we've got a returner. You guys might like him because he has an accent. So the only reason I keep bringing him back is just cultural diversity. You know what I mean? The blackest person on the show, which is cool. It's insane. It's insane. We had to mix it in somewhere. I promise you, I asked African-American ethnic people to do the show, but no, they all hate me, okay? I don't know why. Maybe it's because I refer to them as ethnic people.
Jesus Christ.
I don't, as soon as that word left my mouth, I was like, oh, you sound racist. That's not even close to what you should have said, buddy. You're an idiot. We are going to talk about Twilight. We're going to talk about Bella. Bella is this little bitch right here. So hello there. She's angsty teenager who her mom didn't want to take care of her anymore and gave her to her dad. Basically, then her dad is just eating cobblers every Saturday morning waiting for her at her local, little eatery. And all these people in the town know her. This guy's like, oh, you remember me from when I was Santa Claus? And he's like, she was 4. How's she gonna remember you? It's just some weird ass people in this town. I'm telling you, it's a Lemony Snicket's feel for me. But anyways, Bella falls in love with a vampire. Who doesn't? We all have a friend who's a vampire we just can't keep our hands off of. Also, she has a friend who is a werewolf. Gets weirder. He's Native American. That's not the weird part. Jesus Christ. But yes, he is a werewolf. He comes from a pack of werewolves, and it's just like vampires and werewolves fighting each other. Not really. That's at the end, later sagas. And basically she just falls in love with a vampire who can, like, I don't know if you know this, but vampires sparkle. It's a thing. Also they can stop cars from hitting their loved ones. That was weird for me. It was a strength moment. Also, he can read your mind all the time and he follows you everywhere. So she really got a good one. She really did. And he's dead. You know what I mean? Ultimately dead. But yeah, we're gonna move on with this show. I don't even know what the order is. I'm gonna have a glass of blood. It's delicious. It's from an 8-year-old. Freshly squeezed. Okay, we are going to move on with this lovely. If you guys haven't shared it yet, go ahead. People watching, share it. Sharing is caring. It could be fun. If you don't want to share it, then that's cool. You don't love me. I guess that's all it's about. We are going to move on to the first person in our lineup tonight. I just saw the lineup again, and I got excited again. Okay. We're going to move on to the Brit of the group. He's really nice. You're going to love him, and he's going to creep you out a little bit.
All right.
PARSONS.
I love to bring some cultural diversity to this otherwise homogenous group. It's fantastic. I got to ask a question first, though. Is Mana going to pop in later to defend Bella because she's a bad bitch and tell us we all suck except for Wes? All right, I'm gonna roast you. I'm gonna roast everybody else before I get to Bella, because she needs saving for the end. Kyle Porter, I understand you're doing a Christian version of Twilight coming soon on PureFlix, right? Where they don't suck blood, they cover people with the blood of Jesus Christ. Apparently, he's playing the secondary love interest's cousin's best friend's big brother's friend. One of his credits I noticed off his resume is as the host of The Painful Cabaret, which is the perfect place to find his comedy. Fits right in. And Kyle's talent for Parker makes him an obvious choice as a werewolf, but he couldn't buff up quite enough and didn't get considered for that. Hannah Howard, she also sucks blood if by blood you mean cheap wine in a box. The housewives' favorite kinky love story, 50 Shades of Grey, started off as a Twilight fan fiction, I think everybody is aware of by now. Hannah took inspiration from that for her hair, 50 Shades of Pink. And I also heard a naughty rumor that her husband likes to tie her up, gag her, and then leave her and get 30 minutes peace somewhere else. Charlotte Parker. What can I say about my good friend Charlotte Parker? She relates to teenage angst because she's 26, still lives with her parents, and has chores to do. So she's kind of trapped in that sphere. Twilight fans, as you know, are split into Team Edward and Team Jacob. Charlotte, being bisexual, can't pick a team, so she flits between them all. And in reality, she's really more Team Hermione from Harry Potter, which is her very favorite thing.
That is true.
Fandom that's carried on into her adult life because she's never without her magic wand. And Charlotte is known for being very loud when she laughs, but it's a little known fact that her voice is more lethal than garlic to vampires, so she's got a big following in Transylvania. Miles Francis, speaking of things that drain the life out of you and are best beheaded or stabbed in the heart with a stake, have you ever heard Miles do comedy? Vampires suck blood, but Miles just sucks. Stone vampires get the munchies, but are too lazy to chase someone down and suck their blood, so they just go for the prinkles instead. And as you know, Twilight is known for its long, drawn-out plots with yawn-inducing plot devices, deadpan delivery, and twists you can spot a mile away. You know, like a Miles Francis narrative joke. Ali Van Fleet, I don't know you. I hate to be rude, but I'd stalked you on social media, so I got a couple of bits of material. You would be fit right in as a member of a strange cult-like subculture that can turn ordinary teens into brainwashed zombies, being an Aggie and all. You appear regularly on television, which makes Kyle Porter very jealous. And you're a meteorologist, I understand, so I guess we'll find out in a few minutes whether you were funny. Groan-inducing dad joke there. Anna Barden was going to be cast in as Bella in a reboot, but they needed someone with more emotional range and slightly less angst. She's a fan of the Vampire Diaries, which is appropriate, as her diary readings will suck the life out of you. And vampires join covens led by a patriarch. The patriarch of Anna's coven, of course, popped out to get some cigarettes. Where's Corwin? He relates to people who are pale, burn in the sunlight, and are shunned and feared by society. Gingers. And you got to get tickets now for Wes's upcoming one-man show. I was the funniest comedian in Texas in 2018, you know. Tickets are going soon. It's a limited engagement. Nick is, of course, team yes, please, you saucy boys. After your comments about mask wearing last week, Nick is now notorious amongst the knuckle-dragging mouth breathers who dominate DFW comedy at the moment. Rumor has it that Nick keeps Head Richards in a cage in his basement where he will learn to wear a goddamn mask whether he likes it or not. 50 cans of Pepsi, anyone? And with so many permanent teen vampires, people who turn in their teams, I wonder if there is a vampire camp for them to attend during the summer. And vampire camp kind of sums up Nick's personal style. So, all right, Bella, let's get to the main event. I hate the Twilight movies. I was drugged to watch a couple of them by my wife, who was a fan, but they're lame ass vampires. They don't suck human blood, some of them, but only animals because they're vegetarians. That's not what that word means, by the way, fuckers. They sparkle in the sunlight. They're beloved only by teenage girls and sad 20, 30 somethings who haven't met the right vampire to marry yet. But Bella is probably the worst character in the whole franchise. She's so damn whiny. Her endless mental contortions deciding as a high school junior whether she wants to marry the vampire or the werewolf clearly resonated with some demographics, but couldn't her parents have tried to get her some fucking counseling? Make me a vampire so we can be together forever. That's an emo girl's dream, but damn, it just has no location in reality at all. And after choosing the vampire over the werewolf, she married the vampire, got pregnant, and had a half human, half vampire baby who nearly kills her in childbirth. So she becomes a vampire. Then her werewolf best buddy becomes fixated on her newborn child, which makes her mad until he explains that it's not creepy after all. And it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, who makes this shit up? And why do people buy it? And why do people go and watch it in the movie theaters? But, you know, they couldn't have had a more perfect actress than Kirsten Stewart to play her, because she's just fucking terrible. And I'm sorry, it's just some people are just born for roles, and one note, one-dimensional, emotionless, whiny brats, and Kirsten Stewart go real well together. You know what? The great thing, though, about this love story between the whiny, moody, self-absorbed Bella and the whiny, moody, self-absorbed Edward is that they'll only make 2 people miserable instead of 4 for all eternity. So there is that after all. And that's all I have. On to you, Nick.
I love you. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. It's such a freaking pleasure. Oh, sorry. Wrong person. Guys, that was not my fault. That was a clue. We look the same. We're pretty much the same person. Just like crazy. Yeah, I love having you on the show, David. I think you're funny. So keep it up with us. If you want to be yourself, then do it here. Next up, we have this. I gave it away because I'm horrible. But here we go. It's Wes Corwin.
Woo!
Hey. First of all, before we get started, typically we're not very positive here. I wanted to do a quick shout out. I wanted to say, if you didn't catch it last time, you should watch last week's show, particularly the end. Nick did a whole tirade about the importance of wearing a mask. There are a lot of comedians out there that aren't emphasizing it. Just want to say, I think that was great. And I did also want to credit Nick. He did, one of the things I pointed out is how bad the event header is. And he really tried this week. He almost got the whole R in there on the side. Like that, you must have spent 2 hours on that. You called multiple relatives to make this happen.
I did that for you.
You came so close. It's so okay, fine. This brings me to point number 2. You did this for me. You called the grandson and got him to help you upload stuff. That's great. Nick, this is still so white. This is so uncomfortable. This is a whole adult kickball team, what you've assembled here. You go like, oh, Wes told me to put him at the end, so I put him at the end. Oh, Wes told me to fix the header image. So Nick, I told you, we need one person. When you do the whole ghetto description, people want to look at somebody to know if it's okay that you just said that. You know what I mean? It's important. I'm pretty like it's uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable whenever I'm only the 6th whitest person on a show. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Charlotte Parker is, 1, because she's funny, and 2, because Nick thinks Anna and I cover the diversity angle. And that's which, if we are, Nick, you need to talk to Hannah Howard about cultural appropriation, because this isn't cool. This is like this show seems to have 2 rules. We're not going to roast Ursula the Sea Witch, whites only. And if that's not the case, fix it, Nick. I'm not, here's the thing. I'm not an expert on Twilight. I read the first book on like a youth mission trip when I was 15 or 16, just because it was in the car. So I'll talk about things that I think are weird about Bella, but I don't know if I know a lot. Like, first of all, just romantically super into a 100-year-old man from Spain. Like, is that, he's 100 years old. Is that not weird? Like, I feel like most of the time talking to Edward, he's mostly talking about how cars used to be, and they used to be through the combustion engine. And he'd talk about how cheap Werther's Originals were. Like, I think, how do you connect? She named her daughter Renesmee, which is stupid. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, that's two cartoon characters' names put together. Like, that's like naming your kid Daenerys Wolverine, or like Hermione the Rock Johnson, or like Ali Von Fleet. You know what I mean? It's fucking dumb. Name your child a real name. And if it was a boy, this is true, if she had a boy, she would have named it Edward Jacob, which that's weird, man. That's real. That's your romantic interest and the guy that would have been like the guy you left at the alt. Like, that's like if Angelina Jolie named her first kid Brad, Billy Bob, my brother Jolie. You know what I mean? Like, that's, just leave your weird X's off of your kid's birth certificate. That's all I'm saying. She also kind of like, Bella also kind of stumbles ass backwards through this whole political intrigue. If you weren't aware, there's like, so first of all, Forks, Washington, the city that the books take place in, has this whole land grab situation where the vampires came here, but the werewolves were already here, and they don't have a lot of land because they're not only werewolves, but they're also ethnically Native American, and it's sort of an interesting commentary on the racial situation there. But then you've got the Volturi, and it doesn't make it so. If you're speculating from like, oh, maybe there's an allegory within an American perspective, Manifest Destiny. The Volturi are sort of this weird like Vatican City thing, but Stephanie Meyer's a Mormon. Like, I don't understand. The more I read, the less I understand. In the midst of this like horror movie monster civil war, like Bella still forgets like, oh, I shouldn't bleed in front of Jasper. It'll freak him out and he'll want to eat me. Like, you've got to pay attention to these things, Bella. You're like you're the wife of a dignitary. You've got to tune into this shit. Like, Edward needed to baby-proof their home well before they had a kid. You know what I mean? Like, get all these objects out of the house. Well, speaking of which, this is a weird thing. Jacob is super into Renesmee, who is like rapidly aging, but also 4, which is like being into female Jack with Robin Williams, where he ages super quick. And that's just, it's weird that Bella's just okay with that. Like, she's not the weirdest person in that package, but she is. It's all weird. She puts herself into dangerous situations in New Moon, which I also read on a mission trip. In order, she's like, Edward broke up with her because she bled, and it's sort of a thing where like, oh, it's too dangerous, I can't be with you. So she starts like taunting motorcycle gangs and getting into like fist fights and like trying to crash deliberately off of cliffs because for like seconds she hallucinates him. It's never really clear if he's there, but he just pops in for a second. He's like, hey, don't hurt yourself. And then that's what she gets out of the relationship. That's weird. She's super cool with Edward watching her sleep. Like, the book, first of all, the whole series should be like 20 minutes long. It should get to that scene where Edward is just watching her sleep, and she should be like, hey, get the fuck out of my house. That's what that should be. 100% what that should be. It's fucking, do you understand? Like, it's, first of all, there's a whole weird power dynamic because, again, he's 100 and she's dumb. But more importantly, like, he wants to eat her. Like, the whole, like, the dynamic, like, oh, I can't stay away from you. She's like, I know. She wants to fuck him and he wants to eat her. Do you know, like, if I go to my refrigerator and I open it and I stare at a barrel of Ben & Jerry's doesn't think I'm in love with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very clear. This is just an aside. Like, Bella goes to high school with Anna Kendrick, and she has she's rude to Anna Kendrick all the time. Fuck you. That's Anna Kendrick. She's awesome. Fuck off. You have any idea? That should be the entire movie. The entire movie series should be hanging out with Anna Kendrick and just going to bio with her. She was the valedictorian. She could help you study and shit, and she's super into hanging out with you. And like, all the other human characters are fine, but one of them is Anna Kendrick, and that's how I feel. And the weirdest, among other weird things, obviously vampirism is a metaphor for how Stephanie Meyer sees marriage, which is why Bella wants to get married at 17, because Stephanie Meyer was raised very Mormon. So she's super excited about committing herself to a man because that's what she's been raised to believe. Instead of like, she doesn't want to go to college or experiment with new values outside of Mormonism. Bella's essentially this girl who's so desperate to lock down this weird Amish weirdo who's shiny sometimes. And he's like, yeah, maybe you want to get like an associate's degree or pick up like a summer job or take a gap year. And she's like, no, lock me down, put a baby in me. My adventure begins now at 17. I want my life to be over. Do you know? Hannah, you know what it's like. You're married and you're in a cult, right? That's how. But I do, there's one thing that I want to fix. This is the last thing I'll say. I'm sorry I didn't, I just wanted to talk about Twilight for a while. I haven't read the books, but you know, I feel like David previously brought up the fact that Kristen Stewart is not a strong actress. And I believed this when I was younger. When I first watched the movies, I was like, she's trash. It's just not, nobody's a really strong performer, you think. But we've gone on to see Robert Pattinson's a strong actor. Taylor Lautner's like really fun and funny. Kristen Stewart, if you've seen her on SNL, is super funny and also gay. And if you rewatch the movies with that perspective, that Bella is not a terrible character or weird, like being played by a terrible actress, but is just super committed to this guy and is the only one that won't accept that she's in the closet. It's the best movie. It's wonderful. Do you understand how great it is? Like Bella is just like, oh, I like this guy who's the most attractive man I've ever seen, you know? And Edward's just like, you should probably try to be with other people. And she's like, oh, because you're dangerous. And he's like, no, you're just super into women. Like everybody can see it. Try something else. Like, I'm 100, okay? Just accept yourself. I'm a little wiser than you. This doesn't fit anywhere else in the set. I'm sorry. But fucking why do they believe at the very end of the last movie, like when they have the fight and then they zoom out and it turns out the last fight was all in Alice's head, like, and she was like, I just had a vision, you guys are gonna lose. And they're like, oh, okay. And then the credits roll. What the fuck? Why did I watch 12 hours of this? Anyway, I hope you guys, I'll roast some people that aren't Bella Swan next week. I just really needed to talk. I really needed to get my feelings out.
Oh my God. I feel like I cried 4 times during that. That was emotional. I was like ready for like a comedy special, and then I was like transported to like National Geographic type shit, you know, but it was making me feel something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it was good. I like that. Wes, I'm happy you could talk to us about this. I mean, I'm literally only here to talk to you guys. Please talk to me. Next up, we have my favorite lesbian sister, Miles Francis.
Oh, man. Geez, Nick, thanks so much for inviting me to this group therapy. This is great. This week, we're roasting Bella from Twilight because of just one person on this panel. Fuck you, Kyle Porter. Twilight is a romance series featuring vampires who sparkle in the sunlight and battle werewolves for the love of an underage girl, which sounds like fan fiction that Anna Barden wrote in her Lisa Frank binder in middle school. And it also sounds like fan fiction that Kyle Porter wrote in his Lisa Frank binder today. It's no wonder Kyle Porter wanted to roast a character portrayed by Kristen Stewart, because he clearly looks up to her as an actor. He hopes to have a fraction of her range one day. Kristen Stewart has not been nominated for many acting awards, but she has been nominated for quite a few Teen Choice Awards. Kyle, on the other hand, chooses to try and impress teens by bragging about the awards he's nominated for. I'm sorry, that was supposed to say awards that he's nominated to be nominated for. Oh, and it was also supposed to say preteens. Kyle Porter lines the walls of the closet he refuses to come out of with 8 Team Edward posters and 8 Team Jacob posters. Those plus him equals 17, and anything more than that, and Kyle just loses interest. Speaking of being in the closet, Allie Van Fleet told us she used to be a closeted Twilight fan. She was embarrassed because the series didn't align with her feminine beliefs. But Allie, I think people were probably as shocked to find out you were a Twilight fan as I was when you self-identified as a feminist 45 seconds into our first conversation. If only you had been holding a pumpkin spice latte, I would have won basic bitch bingo. I did look you up online and I found out you work for CBS News 10 in Medford, Oregon. Congratulations on being the 3rd prettiest news anchor on a 2nd-ranked network airing exclusively in the 8th largest town in Oregon. You made it. The last news story Allie shared covered the ongoing wildfires in California, which is the closest thing she's ever had to a hot take. Allie's idea of breaking news is, this just in, Nick Hawk likes dick. Or this just in, Kyle Porter likes dick. But when Kyle Porter isn't doing this show or furiously masturbating in his closet, he can be found lying in the fetal position, weeping and asking his magic 8-ball if he'll ever be successful. His magic 8-ball is so tired of telling Kyle that outlook not so good that now when asked, it just shows Kyle a picture of Wes Corwin. Wes has a face that says he was a Make-A-Wish kid who beat the odds and cheated death, but then realized that the free trip to Disneyland when he was 8 is the best thing that's ever going to happen to him.
Oh, shit.
Most of these other hacks will probably make jokes about how Wes looks like a vampire. And yes, those jokes are going to suck. Get it? But none of those jokes will suck as much as Kyle Porter does.
No.
Kyle probably chose Twilight tonight because Kyle got his big break in acting with his role in the film. Kyle played both of Jacob's werewolf nuts. It was shot like The Parent Trap, where Lindsay Lohan played both roles, but he would just like record his lines where he was talking to himself. And also David Parsons, who played the werewolf Schlong. David Parsons recently started wearing a bow tie when he performs, which is a great move for him because now when he tells his shitty jokes, people just assume he's a ventriloquist dummy controlled by Charlotte Parker. Charlotte, really nice and cool of you to be able to turn your love of fisting into a productive hobby. Charlotte and David are writing partners. They love to bounce ideas off of each other, but the two of them helping each other write comedy is like Stevie Wonder helping Helen Keller learn to drive.
Jesus Christ.
Or like Nick Hawk helping Kyle Porter learn to act straight. I really have no clue why people find the Twilight movies enjoyable. The plot is weaker than the relationship Anna Barden has with her father. And the films are less coherent than Hannah Howard after her 3rd bottle of wine, which she usually finishes around 4:30 or so each day. But say what you will about Hannah, she's a drunk slob who uses her children to excuse alarming personality traits and questionable life choices. Sure, that's all true, but at least she isn't Kyle Porter. I was surprised to learn that 50 Shades of Grey was actually started as Twilight fan fiction. I was less surprised to learn that Kyle also had a role in that film. He played a dildo. I guess that technically makes it more of a cameo.
Paid well.
50 Shades of Grey is what would happen if 2 virgins wrote about BDSM. So it's basically a mashup of Kyle Porter's Tinder bio and Anna Barden's diary. I know I should write at least one roast that's actually about Bella, but she is truly just an awful and boring character. She offers very little to work with. She's so boring that at one point she gets pregnant, and the father is either a vampire or a werewolf, and somehow she makes that less interesting than an episode of Maury. I did notice, though, that Bella has the same taste in men as Nick Hawk does. They're both just looking for a man that sucks more than they do. And that man is Kyle Porter. All right, back to you, Nick.
God damn. I feel like there were moments I was looking at Kyle and I was like, he just finished his beer. He looks like he tilted his head back. Like, is he enjoying this? You came in, Kyles. I'm proud of you, sis. I'm proud of you. Hold on. Next we are going to move on to a celebrated creature. I've been celebrating her for the last couple weeks, and like, let's continue it. It is Miss Anna Barnes. Come on.
Whew.
Okay. I just spilled, but it's fine. Okay, welcome to my set. I'm gonna jump right in and start with my good friend Hannah Howard. You know, Hannah, I think you should just be really proud of yourself because you actually got married later in life than Bella did. But I don't think you should be too proud because you guys both ended up marrying vampires. I mean, at least they're faithful. Hannah started a podcast in quarantine in hopes that people would still give her attention. And you know what? Bringing people on the show and begging them to do that for her, I think this is still a better love story than Twilight. Just a warning, that's going to be my catchphrase of the evening, so have your beverages ready every time I say it. Okay. Allie Van Fleet, how does it feel to share a name with an enema? You're welcome. You know, Allie and I actually originally met in community college in a theater class where we wrote a parody of Oedipus in the style of The Simpsons. This is a true story. And we actually sold tickets to one person that you may know as Miles Francis. And then like 10 years later, Allie and I met again in a stand-up comedy class. Hannah Howard was there. And it's clear that our careers really did well after our Oedipus parody. But Allie lives and works in Oregon as a weather girl now. And she lives alone with her dog. But you know what? It's still a better love story than Twilight. Thank you. Also, I just want to say Allie works with someone named Britney Spears, and I'm still not over that. Okay. Charlotte Parker. I met Charlotte at Chocolate Secrets, which is how I know she's an amazing comedian. Most of us were horrified the night someone's tits were displayed at Chocolate Secrets, but Charlotte actually was really into it because it's more than she typically sees on a date. But you know what? Still a better love story than Twilight. Okay, David Parsons. I forgot that I changed the voice of Siri on my phone to a British man. And I had to get directions to go somewhere the other day, and I screamed because I thought David was in my back seat. But TBH, I would not put it past him. Also, I don't know if you guys were listening closely, but anytime he said Bella, he actually said Beller.
Get out of here.
David, you know, I think someone mentioned this last week, but I really miss your Joker makeup. You know, I know it was a filter and like the smile is fake and everything, but it still wasn't as fake as Nick Hawk. Okay, Nick. You know, I love Nick because I never know whether he's sober or not when we FaceTime. So it's just always a party and he always tells the truth. I really want Nick to speak at my funeral so that people will cry out of disgust and rather than sadness. And really quick, I just want to say Nick getting kicked off of The Voice, still a better love story than Twilight. Okay. Kyle Porter. Kyle, I'm really sorry about your divorce. But if it makes you feel better, I think it's still a better love story than Twilight. I'm gonna drink every time I say it. Okay, that was a demonstration, so I'm drinking twice.
Cheers.
Kyle, can we play a game really quick?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna take an object, and if you just tell me what it is if you know, okay?
Okay. Deodorant.
Are you sure you know what that is? I'll demonstrate for you. Rip that off, and you put it under your arms and
Down there?
your knee pits if you wanted. And you know what else? Your ass if you wanted. Thank you for your cooperation in that demonstration. Okay, Miles Francis. I think Miles is like the sweetheart of the panel. So if everybody could just give a round of applause really quick. Yeah. I only asked people to make noise so that you could hit your bong and no one would hear. Still wouldn't be as loud as Kyle's vaping. You know, I don't think Miles has kissed anyone more than he's kissed his bong. But you know what? Still a better love story than Twilight. Okay. West Corwin. More like West Corluz, am I right?
Yes.
Wes moved to Oklahoma to be with the love of his life. And you know what? That's a worse love story than Twilight. But that's all I have written for Wes tonight, because he tried so hard to get Nick to diversify the panel. And I think he deserves respect for that, because Nick still refused. Okay.
Fuck you.
Really, he named like 6 names. And Nick was like, no, it's gonna be Charlotte. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and fill up on my blood. Okay. Bella Swan. I want to start by saying that if anybody watching named their dog, cat, child, fish, etc. Bella after this movie came out, you should really just be ashamed of yourself. I don't care if it was related to the movie or not. You have something living in your life named Bella. Fuck you. It's stupid. Sorry if my mom's watching because she hates the F word, but not really. Actually, really, I didn't mean to be impolite. Okay. Can I just ask really quick why all these movies were filmed in like the shittiest Instagram filter?
Yes.
No one knows. Bella is actually very close to her dad, so that must be nice. But I'm personally really happy that I never experienced incest, so I have that going for me. I don't understand why Bella and people in general think that Edward is so hot, because to me, everyone in the movie just looks like a CPR dummy. Actually, I looked up some clips of like Bella injuring herself, which was really funny. And then in one of the scenes, she breaks her hand by punching Jacob in the face after he kissed her. But to be fair, I think the same thing probably happened on a date someone had with David Parsons. Okay, Kristen Stewart, FYI, used her own wardrobe for the movies. And what I mean by that is neither Bella or Kristen Stewart has ever changed out of a jeans and t-shirt jacket combo. Boom roasted. Okay. This has not been a good week for me, but oh, also I need to clarify. I try to get really sparkly, but actually it looks like I'm having a reaction now. So really cool for me. Okay. All the clips that I watched were really, really funny. Like there's a clip where she jumps off a cliff. Not, I shouldn't have laughed, but actually the way that they put that shit together was really funny. And she gets on a motorcycle, I don't know how many times throughout the series, and never can ride it correctly. And that was funny too. It's just so poorly done. Anyway, all the clips I watched were so funny. I just can't wait to play a new drinking game, because if I'm being honest, getting drunk on Facebook Live every Tuesday is just a routine for me now. And I need something else. And also, just really quick before I go, I want to shout out my Kill earrings.
Hey, Clay Friday.
So much. They're by Anne's Disasters. Cheers.
I love you. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. That was very hard.
It was terrible. Thank you so much.
You did great, sis. You did great. Next up, we have someone probably not as drunk yet. Here is Hannah.
Pink snack. Anna, I'm so proud of you. Did you feel like an influencer just then? Was that you testing it? Were you like, everyone's asking?
No, I know the person that made these, so I'll put it in the comments, bitch.
I was about to say, what's your discount code? Put it in the comment below.
I am going to.
Hashtag Anna's buys. Well, I was, first of all, welcome everyone to Wes Corwin's TED Talk. What was that mental breakdown? I think that was a stroke. God bless. But moving on. Anna, you look like someone who has the soundtrack of Twilight on vinyl. Just real progressive. Okay. Do you have a discount code for that? Allie Van Fleet is with us tonight, which I'm really excited about because, like Anna mentioned earlier, we go way back. We did comedy classes together, which is just really showing us where we're ending up in life, I think. We're crushing it, guys. We're crushing it. Allie came out and told us that she secretly loves Twilight, but that wasn't a secret. You look exactly like someone who loves Twilight and quotes it on the rag. It's good. She also was showing us, I don't know if you guys know this, but Allie is a meteorologist for a cute little local news station up there in Oregon. And she showed us right before we start that she got like a legit fan mail. Turns out it wasn't fan mail at all. No, it's just some Republican white dude sending her his whole theory on why climate change isn't real. So really proud of you, Allie. You finally got a fan. Took some time, but you got it. David Parsons is here. Comedy really took off for him lately. So it turns out all he needed was a pandemic to succeed. Charlotte, same roast. Charlotte told me tonight that her last name Parker is actually a stage name because her real name, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but I think it's Forked.
See, that's why I don't use it.
Charlotte's Forked, but
it's
Charlotte's
mispronounced.
Forked with a CH, like FORCHT. God bless. Your last name looks like a fart sound. I love it. I love it. Good call with the Parker thing. Good call. Back to Wes Corwin. I named my cat after Wes.
Oh.
There's this caller, Wes. Because turns out all he needed was to get inspiration from a big old pussy. So that's my quarantine kitty. Thanks, Wes. Stagehand, don't worry about it. He can fly, okay? Miles Francis is next. I'm gonna allow Nick to adjust my screen for me, please. There he is. Hi, Miles. Miles, I don't know who that is behind you, but you are definitely the love child between her and Wes Corwin. And I love that for you. You look just like your mama. Back to me, Nick. And that is how Allie is a meteorologist, and that's how she does the news. Nick, I didn't write anything for you. I think I forgot. It literally says Nick, and then it's just blank. It's just like, I got nothing. Thanks for putting me with my fam bam, though. It looked like I'm right where I belong. Feels good. I'm gonna move on to this hoe bag here. The only thing ethnic about Bella is her name. I bet that felt real saucy. What is that, Spanish? Ooh. Look at her. Look at her. I'm mad. Okay, I'm mad. Bella Swan is arguably just the worst character to happen to us as a generation. Which everybody's really mad at Kyle for choosing Bella. I'm excited about it, honestly. Speaking of Kyle, I forgot your roast. Kyle, do you notice how I only do like one joke per comic? Yeah, do that. Yeah. Like, shut up. We get it. You're hilarious. Anyway, back on to Bella. I think the only thing that Bella really needed in her life wasn't a vampire. No, I think she really just needed a good youth group. Probably would have done the same turnout. She would have gotten married young. She would have been attracted to glittery boys. If anything, she wasn't really after the vampires. She was really just after gay boys, which, I can't be mad at that. They're a good time. That's why me and Nick get along so well.
Woo! Unicorns.
Yeah. That's our best friend call, I think. Bella wanted to be a vampire so bad, right? So the whole time she's falling in love with Edward. I mean, first of all, boom, roasted, right? Edward, really? So she's falling in love with this little douchebag 100-year-old and that sparkles. And he is like, no, I can't turn you into a vampire because you're just too delicious or some shit. And she's like, please. And he's like, no. So then, you know what she does? This bitch gets knocked up, starts dying. Honestly, she's got it racked up, man. All she had to do was be with him forever, right? And then get knocked up and almost die, and boom, she got what she wanted. And then she named the child Rinse Me. Bitch, you're white. Her name should be Renee. Cut it off. Why are you trying? Bella. We're unique. If anybody, I'm gonna look this up. I didn't. I'm gonna. I want to know how many people named their daughter Ransom. Ransom. I want to know who took advice from this dirty bitch and named their child that, because they are not to be trusted. No, I stand against that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Nick, thanks for having us. I am out of booze, so this is as sober as you're going to see me. I'm drinking tea like an animal. So if I made you laugh tonight, send me $1.
Do
And I'll
it.
get
She's
real
great.
drunk next week.
Yeah. Hannah, I literally, after you said the name Ransom, I typed it into my phone for baby names. I'm not. I think Ransom is so cute for a person and a child of mine. It's like any child of mine is going to be talking to someone, they're going to be like holding them ransom. You know, it's like they're too much energy. I love it. Thank you for that. Baby inspiration names. This is so good. Next up, we have this lovely lady. I don't get to spend enough time with her because I'm pretty sure she fucking hates me. And the feeling's mutual. But next up, we have Charlotte Parker.
Wow, did not know we had beef, Nick. Okay. All right, super thrilled to be here. Let's get this thing started. Let's see. I'm gonna start with the only person who I've seen in person in the flesh since the quarantine started, David Parsons. The only person out of this panel, I mean. So David, little known fact about him, he accidentally got his second and current wife pregnant shortly after they got married. Ironically, their daughter was conceived on a pull-out couch. Yeah. It was because his wife's Nuva ring didn't work. But David's a lawyer, so I'm surprised he hasn't sued the makers of Nuva ring yet. I mean, it would be the easiest lawsuit to settle because instead of money, they just offer him a meat pie and some Doctor Who autographs, and he'd be like, "Yeah, okay, we're good." David used to have a standard British accent, but then he moved to Texas, and he's been gradually trying to morph into an American Southerner for the past couple decades. He has an amazing memory, except when it comes to what a British or American accent sounds like. His American accent sounds worse than Robert Pattinson's in Twilight. Legit, when I saw Twilight, I was like, why does Edward's voice sound so weird? It just sounds off. And I'm like, oh, it's Robert Pattinson trying to sound American and it's not working. That's why. Okay. I actually saw Twilight in theaters in 2008 when I was in middle school and David was between marriages. The movie, one of the many things the movie is infamous for is its terrible special effects. That even 13-year-old me knew were messed up. Like when there's a scene where Edward the vampire rapidly climbs a tree, but in the movie he's just like running up it sideways really quick. Like they're not even fucking trying. But when David saw that scene, he was actually really jealous because no tree has ever been sturdy enough for him to climb. Wes, thank you so much for getting out of your bed to join us. I'm really proud of you. Wes knows a lot about Twilight. I'm surprised you didn't do another PowerPoint presentation about it. Yeah, I bet you had one and then you scrapped it at the last second. Wes looks like me if I was male and even more depressed, and I peaked in 2018. Wes hosted the roast battle in the Plano Comedy Festival this year. I think it is every year. The winners in every round were women, and the more this happened, the more visibly bitter he became about it. This is true, I've never seen someone so annoyed at watching a woman finish.
Whoa.
Miles is here as well. Miles looks like a surfer bro who ate another surfer bro. Miles is an unemployed stoner who hosts a podcast about The Simpsons, aka he's a Republican's worst nightmare, basically. Whenever a boomer complains about these goddamn millennials, they're really just talking about Miles. Anna Barden. Anna reminds me of my childhood because she has the same energy, enthusiasm as my favorite toys when their batteries were dying. Anna, you look like you shop at Urban Outfitters, but only ironically.
Correct.
Yeah, Anna was really excited to roast about this roast of Bella Swan because Bella is one of the few people who have worse taste in men than Anna does.
Oh.
Hannah Howard, super excited to see you. Hannah, as you saw before, has pink hair. I used to have pink hair too. This is true. I had pink hair for a year, but then I dyed it back to my natural color when I got a full-time job and responsibilities. For me, it was just a phase. It was kind of fun, but for Hannah, it's basically her entire personality. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, man, the vampires in these Twilight movies are so ridiculous. You know, Kyle actually auditioned to play one of the vampires in Twilight, but he didn't have enough charm or emotional range even for that. So they wouldn't let him. Allie Van Fleet is here. Allie is a meteorologist who gets more time on screen in a week than Kyle has on his entire resume. Thank you for being here, Allie. I'm really glad you're here. I hope both your fans are watching this tonight. And Nick, thank you so much for hosting this and for having me as the other diversity hire, I guess. Let's get a Jewish bisexual woman on, then people will stop complaining, right? No, probably not. I mean, even Twilight had a token black person. Jeez, dude, come on. Oh man. All these people that complain that female politicians have shrill voices should just listen to a recording of Nick Hogg, because after 5 seconds they'd be like, you know what? Never mind. It could be worse. This is fine.
I know.
Most people are Team Edward or Team Jacob, but when Nick saw the movie, he was on Team either or both. Just take your shirts off, please. Man, all right, on to Bella Swan. Bella is more boring and two-dimensional than a blank paper doll. She meets this vampire, finds out he's scared of going out in the sunlight because he'll sparkle, and she never questions the logic in this. Like, all she had to do was point out that, like, if people saw Edward glittering in the sunlight, they wouldn't think he's a vampire. They would just think he'd been out at a gay club all night. Like, dude, they're just gonna think you're not straight. Like, it's fine. Bella got married and had a child immediately after high school. The kid almost killed her, and then she punished that child for almost killing her by naming her Renesmee. Which is the dumbest combo name I've ever heard since Harry Potter named his kid Albus Severus. Like, it's just so stupid. This is why combo names are not a good idea ever. The books never explain why Bella is the only person whose mind Edward can't read. That's like the first thing that like gets him interested in her. I think it's because there's just nothing going on in her head. Honestly, I think it's because there were no thoughts for him to read. A lot of people think that Kristen Stewart's performance as Bella was too low energy and bland, but I think, frankly, that she was just exhausted from all that method acting where she was pretending to be straight all the time. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I know from experience that can be quite draining. And that's all for me. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
You know, I can really relate on the method acting because I've been straight before, like played straight. It was really believable, and like everyone, they loved it.
Yeah, okay.
No, they loved it. It was super. Next up, we have a delicious treat. He had someone come out. You must feel really cool, Kyle, because someone attacked you for their entire. You know what I mean? They just like verbally assaulted you. You know what I mean? But here we go. Here is Kyle Porter.
Thanks, Nick. Hello. Yeah, so after everyone bit into me tonight, I'm just gonna do like Bella did after Edward left her and go cliff diving straight into your assholes. Fucking my yalls. Wow, that hurt. I don't give a shit what you think about me. All right. Yeah, everyone, I picked Bella from Twilight. It's an American classic. Y'all lazy motherfuckers have become complacent. You want to roast the bad guys all the time. It's lazy. The writers have already done that for you. Look at this. That shit's more tired than Hannah Howard. 2 kids. I don't know how she does it. Whew. Oh, yeah. Dude, just get it like that. Starting early, like my sex life. Just always coming too quickly. All right. You guys actually had to work for it tonight, and it showed. To be honest, you all have clearly done more research on this than you did on your SATs. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this Zoom chat thing that we're all making so much money at. I'm going to dive in. Allie Van Fleet is here tonight. Allie, the world already has enough Sarah Chalks and Malin Ackermans. You know, society has no place for more than 1 or 2 funny hot blondes. Uh-oh, society has deemed you useless. Got her good. All right. It's actually hard to write jokes about the only other person on the dais that's almost as attractive as I am. Me and this sexy lazy eye. Oh, yeah. Aging process, keeping it real, y'all. All right. Allie's bio on KTVL CBS 10 News website states that Allie comes all the way from Texas A&M, where she focused her studies on meteorology and deep-throating a senator's son. Didn't matter which one, as long as he was more pale-faced than the Cullen family or anyone on this dais. Scanning the dais. Yep, nope, this roast did not just get too dark, obviously, because of all of you. All right, I'll take us there. Let's get darker. In 1972, an earthquake in Turkey killed over 1,000 people. In 1972, 11 Israeli athletes were murdered by terrorists at the Olympic Games in Munich. But if tonight has proven anything, it's the worst thing to happen in 1972 was the birth of David Parsons. If my math is correct, David, that makes you about 150 years old. Buckle up, you limey fuck. I'm just getting started. David is so English that he thinks saltine crackers are just too spicy. Seriously, other than cabbage and spuds, the only thing your country has to offer is whiskey-soaked little people who know exactly where to find the Lucky Charms. Yes, finally nailing this English-specific jokes thing, right? How am I doing? All right. Moving on out. David, do you eat fried fish and chips for every single meal? Because 5 out of 5 Kyles are concerned about your cholesterol. Oh, shit. All right. Charlotte Parker is zooming to us live from literal hell tonight. You can tell by her skin, which is redder than the devil's dick. Hell is apparently a never-ending set of Zoom comedy shows where Nick Hawk is Satan and Anna Barden will be shoving pineapples inside of you later. I'm just kidding. Charlotte already knows she's going to hell. She's gay and Jewish and a comedian in Texas.
Yep.
Although all of those things do add up to one good note. Earlier this month, her asshole unclenched for the first time in 4 years. The Biden, you get it? All right, took a second. That's a late burn. Maybe you could show these clinching methods to Hannah. She's married, so I mean, she could use these skills so that she too could never use it on a man. Got her. And Clint. All right, I am moving on out. Now, in a film like Twilight, a film full of sexual angst and young love, Hannah Howard has no place. But found one anyways. She actually was in the film. She was a stand-in for Taylor Lautner's werewolf. It was great. She did a great performance. All right. Hannah Howard and the 300-year-old Empire high school students both turn into MAGA supporters when they're asked about their age. Stop that count. Stop that count. Beautiful. Nailed it. Kristen Stewart in this movie has the face that Hannah Howard, like at all times, Kristen Stewart's dumb little face. Look at it. It looks like Hannah Howard when her husband tries to talk to her while she's taking a poop. You know what I'm saying? It's just full of angered bewilderment. at all times. Speaking of angered and bewildered tonight, Wes Corwin is back and apparently very triggered. Sorry, dude. Wes, especially after this set, is exactly like a vampire from these films specifically because he too sucks all of the energy out of a room. Being at an open mic with Wes, being at an open mic and then seeing Wes's face must be a lot like being Wes's wife about to come and then seeing Wes's face. Oh, I'm gonna move on because I feel like I did enough damage just by choosing this movie to Wes. Speaking of high school girls, I don't know why that's a weird transition for a joke that I cut out, so ignore that. Miles Francis is back. Miles is the same style stoner as he is a comedian, the obvious kind. That's a joke for you, buddy. Miles is one of those nerds that doesn't really know he's a nerd yet. And he would definitely be the guy to get upset at me on Facebook about, choosing this type of character that's made up, but doesn't adhere to the kind of made up folklore of the made up bullshit vampires that he's already into. Lycans, werewolves, daywalkers. Just let it go, buddy, and get wrapped up in a love story for the ages. Ooh, Miles, you a negative bitch. Re-examine your life choices. Got him good. Speaking of terrible life choices, Anna Barden is here tonight. And don't let her lie to you. I am a firm believer that she loves the Twilight movies. Because just at first glance, I was so convinced, like I can see Anna mouthing every word of Bella's lines from heart. I can picture it so well that I'm not convinced she wasn't my first restraining order. Oh shit, I gotta keep a list I've legally wronged. I gotta lose count of these people. All right, I feel like I lost count of where I was going with this. I'm just gonna jump on down to our host, Nick Hawk, tonight. Nick, I say that, I definitely lost my face. Fuck me, you guys. I just got so excited about my favorite movie of all time. And then we had to cancel it and do this stupid roast instead. All right, what I'm gonna do is, you know what? I think I'd like to bring back my blowjob ratings from last week, and I'll just round it out with that. Nick, I think he'd be terrible at being a vampire because you got to have fangs to be a vampire. And Nick barely has teeth, so he gets bumped up to a 10 for blowjob. 10 out of 100, so calm down.
Thank you.
Miles would give great head, and you can tell by all of the headbands that he always has ready to pop on at any moment. And that boy's ready to get sloppy, get his hair pulled back. Even though Allie doesn't have the same cute cheeks as Miles, she'd be just as good. She's been a journalism intern, a safety specialist, a meteorologist. Allie, this resume reads less like a resume and more like a list of characters you've played on Pornhub. So I think those skills. Wes doesn't suck dick, but he definitely eats ass. That's such a good joke. Oh my God. I clearly got lazy or drunk this week. Speaking of which, Charlotte's gay and Jewish, so she steers clear of dicks and heads straight for the roast beef. Hannah Howard's mouth already looks like a pile of mashed potatoes, and the reason that I have no Thanksgiving plans is because I learned last year fucking mashed potatoes feels better than you might think.
Oh my God.
Especially if Nana maintains eye contact.
Oh my
That's
God.
weird. Anna Barden, I'm bumping you from a 4 to an 8 because after doing a few of these roasts and watching you drunkenly stuff yogurt down your throat, I figure some of those skills must transfer over. Saved it, brought it back. All right, Knight's back in gear. David Parsons, you don't flee from England and move to Texas to avoid persecution. You make that kind of upgrade when you're trying to upgrade to a new level of repressed and radical, which means that after head with you, you'd probably try to kill me, which makes me blast off harder than the SpaceX shuttle. Oh.
Yeah.
Seriously, you gay bashing me is like a lost episode of Peaky Blinders. Just as sexy, but a lot more diabetic. All right, I'm just gonna do a quick few roasts here. Nobody gives better head than Taylor Lautner must have to get into this movie, because God, he was awful in it. Now I'm moving over to this fucking fake crier right here. No, not Anna Barden. This one. Bella, you naive little bitch. How dare you play with the hearts of over half of Nick's spank bank? The other half is on this panel tonight, and that's actually just me and Nick looking at his own reflection in Zoom again. This roast is probably the harshest one of the night, and it's for Jacob. Jacob, we get it, you're a werewolf, but like, can you put a shirt on? Oh, shit! Woo! Lycan? It's a good one. You guys, if you don't get that joke, you need to put down Parlor and pick up a book. Yeah, I'm looking at you, all of fucking Texas. All right. I gotta be honest, I might have suggested this, but I definitely fell asleep 6 times while watching these movies back over again. And if you're keeping count at home, that's 1 less time than Hannah Howard's husband fell asleep last time they had sex in 2018. All right. I'm just going to wrap it up. Thank you, guys. This is Thanksgiving after all, so I just wanted to say that I am truly thankful for all of you and how you let me raw dog you each week without getting tested. Fwam, fwam, fwam. My junk is falling off. Back to you, Nick.
Fucking bastard. Oh, what a wonderful time. I'm just letting you guys know right now. Okay. We're getting there. Like, it's the person before me, so I'm already like significantly drunk. Okay. Hi, and guess what? Trifecta. It's raining here, bitch. So I hear rain against my window, and I'm like a witch right now. I'm just so it's this coven is about to come to a meeting and it's about to come to a close, but we're gonna let up this nice little witch. I've never met her yet, but she just seems so sweet and like demure, like Bambi. But like maybe she'll get shot.
What? Well, thank you for having me. I don't really know a whole lot of you except for, of course, Hannah and Anna. As Anna had mentioned, we met back in community college at Collin County. And it was great times to be had. But Kyle, as you had mentioned, I really have to base a lot of this off of like first appearances, what I've gotten from your social media. And Kyle, you just at first glance remind me of the Walmart version of that one guy from Glee that no one seems to like, the teacher, Will Schuessler, whatever his name is. But yeah, so that's really what I got from you. Miles, I do appreciate the color coordination. You're always seeming to be, I've looked at all your photos, seem to be really on point, but your jokes about me, I'm not an anchor. I don't do news. So a lot of your jokes are irrelevant, but also, I kind of wanted to know has anyone ever told you that you look at the white version of Tito from Rocket Power?
Whoa!
That's just my opinion. That's the first thing that popped into my head when I looked through your profile. Yeah, Charlotte, I have to say, Hannah brought up, I don't remember who brought it up. Someone brought up that I only have 2 fans. And the funny thing is I kept getting, since I started doing this, I got several requests to be my friend on like Twitter, Facebook. And I just remember thinking like, oh, wow, this is so great. And that's kind of sad. But Charlotte, I was looking through your social media and I just automatically knew I was going to like you because we're both Aquariuses. And, you know, not going to lie. So you're a ginger and I'm kind of confused as why you're here. Why you're not really, you look like a Weasley to me. Why aren't you around at the Harry Potter one? So we'll see about that. Also, it said that you're a theater teacher, director, and business development associate at North Texas Performing Arts. And you also do stand-up. Mm-hmm. What do your parents tell their friends that you do? David James Parsons. I actually looked you up for the Texas bar just to make sure that you were really a lawyer. You are. Congratulations. And I have a hard time trusting British people. I just don't like you guys. I'm sorry. A little sketchy. Just because a lot of your food just there's a lot of sexual innuendo with that, like your big saucy bangers. I found out, one of my friends told me that there's a pudding called a spotted dick. Didn't know if you ever heard about it. I just don't like it. Doesn't sit well with me. But my first, like when I first saw you, I thought, this is the Buddy Garrity of Britain from Friday Night Lights. So that's really what I thought. You also look like a substitute teacher that I would make cry. And I don't know, that's just my opinion. But who else do I have on here? Hannah Howard. First off, I would like to correct you and said that you said that Bella was Spanish. She's not, she's Italian. There's a whole scene about that in the first movie. You were also a barometer of when I know that I should ease up on drinking, just because, you know, if I'm going overboard and I look at your Facebook, because I do all the time because you're fabulous. I love to stalk you. And I see that you haven't been drinking in a while. I just think like, maybe you should ease up, Allie. Stop drinking so much. What else? Who else do I have on here? Looks like Nick Hawk. I don't remember what I put down on here. You're very nice. You've been super sweet to me. For some reason, under my notes, I scribbled reminds me of the guy at youth group who ... And
Oh my God.
I drink a lot. I'm not sure why I put that down. And Anna Barden, and if I've forgotten you guys, I'm so sorry. But Anna Barden, you brought up fashion choices of Bella, and I will say that we all discussed that Stephanie Meyer was Mormon or is Mormon, something or another. She's Mormon. She's from, and there's actually a lot of religious undertones. So I'm kind of shocked that David Parsons didn't pick up on, because I noticed that you are what are you, a pescatarian, Episcopalian? What is that?
Episcopalian.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about that. Anyway, so there's a lot of religious undertones in this movie. If you guys had read the books, I'm not sure if you had, I actually reread them all at the beginning of quarantine, and recently finished Midnight Sun, which was her, like, fucking, it was all from Edward's point of view, which doesn't make sense to me. It just made me more angry. Anyways, so Anna brought up the fashion choices of Bella. In the movie, it's so much better, because in the book, she's dressed like a Mormon the entire time. She has in one of the quotes that I put down, she wore a khaki floor-length skirt when she met the family with a long-sleeved shirt. And the thing I'm thinking, Edward the entire movie is like, oh yeah, I'm risking it all for Bella. Dude, you're risking it all for a khaki floor-length skirt. Okay. And I feel really bad for Bella, because she is just as basic as we all were in high school. The only reason Edward was attracted to her was because he just got some fucking peace and quiet when he was around her. And if he could read her mind, he would not be attracted to her at all, because she'd be thinking all the same things that we are. And really all she's thinking is that, as we all saw through the movies, she just wants to get railed get her back fucking blown out behind an Arby's, like we all do. But she wants to sign up with this fucking popsicle dick guy. And it just, that's really about it. What else have I written down? Bella is really a product of the people she grew up with. And her mom was raised by a single mother, but her mom ran off with some not high schooler. She ran off with a guy who played minor league baseball, which we've all been there, and to gallivant across the country with that, and went to go send her with her father, who, let's be real, as hot as he is, he definitely would have voted for Trump, but that's just me. Bella is really a shitty daughter. She just disappears with her vampire friends and tells her dad, fuck you, I'm going off, I'm doing this. And but also she's a walking Forensic Files episode. She ignores every single red flag that we have all been taught. This guy is telling her that I have the skin of a killer, Bella. You think you can outrun me, and he runs super fast. And I don't know, that's where I'm at. And that's really about it. That's all I got. And Anna Kendrick was really the best character in this movie. Yeah. That's all I got. But thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Love you so much, Allie. What a treat. What a delicious treat. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm a little feel like I gotta pee, but I don't gotta pee. So I'm that drunk. You know what I mean?
We can.
I don't know what's happening. And I'm ready for this. So I just want to let you guys know that earlier today I watched a movie. It was okay. When I was younger, I watched it and I remember like, you know, this is okay. This is pretty good, you know, but then now watching it, I'm like, no, this is horrible. This is garbage. But there's some hot guys in it. So it kept me entertained for like we're just gonna dive right into this roast. I'm gonna try to set this up here, but I can't see my face. That's not gonna work. Okay, here. Tonight's roast, you guys all did wonderful. I'm happy every week that the returners come back. You guys always seem to like grow a little bit more. You know what I mean? Teary-eye moment. And all the new people, like I just love having you guys on the show and getting to see how you would work in this situation. So like, bravo. Okay, let's like clap it up. Tip them. Okay, they have some shit that you could tip them on. I'll show them later. But if you like tip them because they need it, you know what I mean? They need it. Speaking of someone that needs it, Hannah Howard reminds me of Bella's mom in the Twilight movie because she totally looks like she would make her daughters move out and stay with their just she wanted to travel. You know what I mean? We get it. It's all about Hannah. It's fucking crazy. But I will say, if I was a vampire, I'm gonna make sure that I kill Hannah Howard first because her blood has to taste like wine at this point. You know, it's got to. It's like keeping it in. It's unreal. Some people I went really hard on. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna bring up some things you might be topically on the other side about. Here we go. Charlotte Parker makes me sadder than when they asked Robert Pattinson to be the new Batman. Maybe Robert and Charlotte's involvement in these two productions that they probably weren't originally selected for will turn out like Heath Ledger. You know, after production call wraps, they'll just get so fucked up from the experience that they do us all a favor and buy some fresh razors and buy gracefully.
Jesus.
Face down in a bathtub like Whitney. Or her daughter. Charlotte Parker looks like if Wendy from Wendy's went to college, studied to be a librarian, and became really interested in the ham wallet. You know, the blood biscuit. No, that's not all. We have the vajiggle jackal. Taylor Lautner is creepy as fuck when he first sees Bella in the movies. He says hello and reminds her that they used to make mud pies together. For Kyle, mud pies mean something completely different. That's when he shits on someone's chest and finger paints in it. It's really nice. Kyle Porter, I don't know if you guys know, but he goes by many different names. Pedophile, Count Chocula, future serial killer. But his mom's and my favorite name is Accident. We're lucky enough to have a cast member from the movie take some time off from filming their crucial role and stop by just to chat with us. I don't know if you guys know, but Kyle Porter, better known as Corpse Number 2. So thin. It's just real. Just eat something, please. I'll Venmo you, I swear. This is gonna be, you guys are gonna be really iffy about this one. I'm not saying Kristen Stewart is ugly, okay? I'm not saying that. But she was hired for a big time movie that had a big budget, okay? And they put not enough makeup on her face, okay? Like there needs more, cover it up, you know? She just, the whole movie, she gives me the geeky girl before she gets a makeover from Freddie Prinze Jr.'s sister. And she's like, it really gives me that vibe. And I'm like, you know, she can upgrade. That's all I'm saying. She had to die in the movie in order for her to look prettier. Isn't that crazy? God. Got eyes and her hair was fuller. It was just beautiful. I watched the movie today, and Kristen Stewart playing volleyball in this movie is like going to the Special Olympics,
Oh, God.
except they have better form, you know? Anna, I love you. Okay. I couldn't think of anything else. So Anna Barden reminds me of Anna Kendrick in this movie. That's why I picked it as her background. Because it's just so hard to keep being friends with her, you know?
Oh.
That was hard. I couldn't even say it with a straight face because I'm such a twat. Anna Kendrick reflects Anna Barden in the movie because Anna seems like she went to prom with a guy who originally wanted to go with her best friend but settled for her. You know? Sweet. You might say that Miles Francis is currently living his best life as a vampire. Because the only way he wants to go down on a girl is if he's earning his Red Wings. He just loves the taste of pennies. Miles Francis and this book series have a lot in common. Just ask Stephanie Meyer. These books have disappointed her mom so much. And Miles' mom knows a lot about that, being disappointed by her offspring, you know? It's just the life you signed up for. Miss Francis. Allie, I don't know you too well, so these are vapid insults, so just take them as you will. We have Allie Van Fleet here tonight, and after you saw her set, you can understand why her last name is encouraging you to run away. Get the fuck out, just leave. Allie is here tonight because, like Bella's character in the movie, I added her to the show to make it harder to watch. I'm just kidding. David, I've done really rude things the past couple weeks, so I feel like I just want to give you a compliment tonight. David Parsons kind of looks like my dad. I'm not kidding. He really does. Hey, can you just yell "sissy boy" at me so I can be taken back to my child?
Sissy boy.
What does faggot sound like in an English accent? Is it different? Is it cooler? David Parsons' comedy and vampires and werewolves have a lot in common. We're all still trying to decide whether we believe in it or not. It's crazy. I just want to let you guys know, I didn't point this out earlier, but Hannah and her background looked like a group of friends going to Warped Tour. They're just so ready. They're so ready. Edward and the gays of Dallas at Block Party look the same. They're all glistening in glitter, or is that semen? It's just hard to tell in this light. Why does it look like this is a serious fucking question? I get it. I know what the answer is to this, but it made me feel uncomfortable the first time I saw it. Okay. So Bella is in the room waiting, and she sees Edward sitting at her science table. Okay. And they're fucking partners just by happenstance. Thanks, Stephanie. What a coinkydink. But he makes her, where was I going with this? Makes her, the first time he sees her, so sorry, that was a high moment. The first time he sees her, he just, why does he always look like he's coming every time he sees her? It's uncomfortable to watch for me as an onlooker. It made me feel the type of way. And I know the answer because he wanted to eat her. That's I get it. I just want to say, whoever fucking shot the movie Twilight clearly didn't have a camera leveler. A lot of scenes that were just like, why would you shoot it that way? You know what I mean? It didn't make sense. I'm just gonna let you guys know. The Cullen family, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the movie they be fucking, okay? They be fucking, okay? And it's really weird, like they're fucking each other. It's kind of strange. but it's not too far off from Miles's family, because remember, he's from West Virginia. I just have one bone to pick, the biggest bone for the whole movie. I'm just gonna say it right now. Tell me how you feel. This movie is supposed to take place like in Washington, like near Seattle-ish. And it's just not believable enough for me because there'd totally be more suicides.
Oh God. Huh.
Substantial amount, you know? I just want to, before I wrap up, I only wrote one joke about this person. And it's really because honestly, I respect him. So it's hard for me to write jokes about him. So save this for the end. It's probably not a closer, but here we go. Wes Corwin is super smart, like next level, but apparently not smart enough to discover Rogaine yet. Get ahead of it. You gotta get ahead of it, buddy. I know. I just love him so much. That hurts me. That hurt me so bad to even say. I just want to let you guys know that we have had a wonderful time. I'm going to show you all your comics right now, gallery style. Hello, Hannah. She's dead.
Woo.
This is what it looks like to her children. She's just not there. Crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We truly have a fun time putting on this show every week, and I know I like seeing everyone come back and all the returners. I really enjoyed this. This is probably one of the better days of my week. The rest of them kind of suck. Okay, we're gonna be honest about it because it's just work and then just wearing a mask. How do I cover this pretty face all the time? It's easy to wear a mask, Head Richards. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but we're gonna switch back to me for a second because I'm arrogant. Oh my God, look at that sweat pit. Jesus Christ on a drug. We're getting out of here. Okay, so tonight we had some really funny comedians. Honestly, Kyle, thank you for suggesting this. It's not something that I would have chosen because I have better taste, but something that we did. So that's been nice about it. No, I'm just kidding, Kyle. It was great. I love you. I feel like I can't be mean to you because like secretly, I just want you like you're 2 inches just deep in me. You know what I mean?
There's no secret about that.
You get over here with that chode. Get over here. Get over.
It's so girly.
But we are going to introduce each comic. I'm going to give you guys a little time to like plug, maybe throw in another joke, whatever you want to say. I'll tell you when I'm about to wrap up. But we're going to spotlight the people like we normally do. But I want to give them time to say whatever is going on in their lives, whether like they're like how quarantine's going in a bitches. I said short comedians. Y'all will stretch it out. I said short response. And just give them a little bit more time to get to know you. So the show is like a little bit more impactful. So we're just gonna move on to a newbie tonight. Rosalie, because she's Mexican. Remember? Bella's Mexican. Allie. Allie Van Fleet.
Okay, cool. I actually noticed a joke that I forgot, or a tidbit that I forgot to tell you guys. So I was a sophomore in high school when the first Twilight came out. And I actually got into a fight with another girl at the Twilight premiere. It was close to midnight, and she wouldn't shut the fuck up. She would not stop the movie, and I was really upset about it. So I turned around and said, "Hey, be quiet." And after that, it was just a blur. So we threw some hands. That was about it. And really don't have anything to plug. I just
good. Instagram, follow her at Allie Van Fleet. Venmo at Allie-Van Fleet. TikTok at
Anticyclonic.
Okay, went to public school. It was an art school. You know what I mean? It wasn't even. Next up, we have this beautiful creature. I love her so much. She's a great mom. Said no one ever.
Whoa.
That was rude. I need to establish something. The tornado sirens are going off in my neighborhood right now.
Oh shit.
What a pro.
I don't know why.
That'll increase the views.
I'm confused as to why. Is there a tornado?
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't know.
There's a tornado
Always
warning.
thunder before the rain.
This is an emergency. You guys.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'm out.
Or
am I
if not,
supposed to
this will
do?
get a lot more views.
Follow
Ollie's the meteorologist. Anyway, there's my
Follow
cash
Hannah
app.
at Instagram at Miss Hannah Howard. Cash app, $, bitch and Hannah if you would.
And then these are my posse.
So good. I just love it. I love a good posse. Next up, we have this like beautiful glass-wearing champion. Glass-wearing champion.
Glassware. Thank you. Yes, that's. Yeah, all my handles are char par par. My TikTok is Charlotte Parker Comedy because I was trying to be mature or whatever. Follow that too. I'm gonna be in the Boston Comedy Festival on Monday, so check that out.
It is. Send positive vibes her way. Send them her way. Just let them go. Let it go. Let it go. Is that song not about masturbation? Let it go.
I don't know, but as someone who works at a children's theater, I have heard that song more times than I can count.
Cute. I'm done then. Yeah, Charlotte Parker, her tagline to all of her social medias because she just thinks she's a Pokemon. Cha-cha-pa-pa, cha-cha-pa. Love it. So cute. I just love it. I love it. Next up, we have this guy who's leaning back because I'm going to blow him. Here we go. It's Kyle Porter.
All I had. Nick just gave me that good. You can Venmo me at Kyle-Porter-16 because apparently, according to all the other comedians, that's the age that I like them. And then you can you can instantly get to my gram through Kyle CM Porter. You can check out my OnlyFans.
Yes. Tell me where. Tell me.
I don't have one of those. I do. I'm just not inviting Nick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm just gonna let you know that I am hard right now. So we are.
Me too.
We're gonna switch over to the person to perfectly stop my boner, my lesbian sister.
Oh man. If you want to send me money, that's there. I'm pretty much everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off because I was unemployed before it was cool. So send me money at Venmo there. And if you feel like I didn't talk enough about how much Kyle Porter sucks tonight, I'd be happy to continue that conversation with you right here.
Of course you would. You're crazy. You're just crazy. Next up, we have just a handsome man that I apparently have a hard time insulting. Wes Corwin.
Woo!
His background is him. It's crazy. It's just him. It's just him.
I actually, Charlotte was right. I actually have a PowerPoint. If I could just share it real quick.
No.
I chickened out.
Yes.
Here, but I could actually, I just want to
Oh my
demonstrate
God.
put the work in, if that's
Please.
okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna share. Oh no, it says disabled. Can I keep. Let's see. Can you? I just want to show it. I want to show it so bad.
Hold on.
It's just gonna be a picture of his dick.
There.
Watch.
Now you can share. Go.
Okay.
Now you can share. I think I fixed it.
Real quick.
Yes, I did.
This is my Twilight set. I'll just show it to you real quick. Gotcha, Nick. Here's a list of comics that should be here next week. Ralph
I love you.
Diaz, Arun Rama, Josh
Yes.
Johnson, Douglas Jones, Roxy Hayes, Cheyenne
I already had Shy on.
earlier, but we should bring him back. Paul Varghese, Fernando Ruiz, Chris Beasley, Simply Courtney, Jordan Mack, Leo Garcia, Andrew Franklin, Zach Arredondo, Paulo Sfero, Angelia Walker,
Paulo.
Ted Richards. And also, I'm going to be on the New York Underground Comedy Festival, and I'm going to try to tweet again. I'm really depressed. I hate Twitter, but I'm going to try it again. That's it. Please don't book this lineup again, Nick.
I love you. God, I hate you. Okay, next up we have a delicious little crumpet for you. You like that word? You love that word? I'm coming up to you, you little man.
Ooh, I love a little hot crumpet.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't have an OnlyFans account, but Head Richards has an OnlyCans account if you want to check it out. And if you want to catch some of Charlotte and my blue comedy, we're in the Big Blue Ball on Friday night.
Yes.
7
That's
o'clock
great.
Central. You can get tickets at rampantly.la. And I love roasting people. I'm going to be stuffing and roasting a big bird on Thursday. But enough about my wife. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I will come back, even though I'm very, very white and very, very old. I'll come back anytime you want me.
Awesome. We love having you. Honestly, you're such a treat. We have another person that I just won't stop sponsoring. I'll sponsor her until the day I die. I just respect her.
Woo!
Okay. Nick, I just want to thank you for being a fan and commenting on my photo. Remember?
I love it. Hey.
Remember? Who said that? Remember? I'm drinking Trader Joe's wine.
Woo!
Yes, believe in yourself.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Anna Barden, Venmo, Instagram at Olive Barden, like Olive Garden, but she's so much more satisfying. Just so much more. We're gonna come back to me for a minute. Okay, guys. Oh my God, look at this.
Hot. Use some degree. Remember, like
I do. I'm
showed
using like
Kyle?
48-hour protection. Okay, I put a condom under here. How is this coming out? This is crazy. Okay, guys, all you need to know about me is I'm a nervous sweater. I can't help it. Also, I have baby small teeth. Thanks a lot, Kyle, for bringing it up. And the fact that you brought it up, you know what that means? You know what that means?
What?
Do you know? Do you know what it means? It means you're a garbage fucking human being. I can't. That's really the roast I wanted to say about you for weeks, but I just needed to get it out. I needed it. Next week, I don't know who we're gonna roast yet. If you guys want to, get interactive on this bitch, okay? Comment below. Tell us who you want to see. These people can talk about anything because they're full of themselves, okay? This is easy for us. This is a grasped onto thing we have. We just love it. I just love speaking in metaphors. Anyways, we are going to wrap it up tonight. Please be sure to share this video. Go tip everyone on their social media. Here. Is it over here? Here?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Other
Yeah,
side.
the first time.
Here. Go.
No. It's not there.
To me,
You
okay, the
missed.
thing is tonight it rained. And so look at, under as well, apparently. It rained and I feel like I just invoked the spirit of Manon. Guys might not know what that is, but it's from The Craft. So, I do want to let you guys know, returners, when we come back sometime in the next 2 shows, I want to touch on a Christmas-based character because we're going to be, one of our shows needs to be, we're in December at that point. So I really want to like make a Christmas show, but someone, I do, because it's Christmas, it's Christmas, like,
But you want to touch on him?
like that type shit. Okay. Cool. This is so great. I love reading this room. I love you guys so much. I'm going to message you on how great you did. Anna, drink some water.